Alright, so Doors just received its Battle Mode update, which re-released the Ranked Mode event from April Fools, albeit with some new features and changes. Now, although you may be quick to assume that this update is just a carbon copy of Ranked Mode with nothing new, there are actually several notable differences between this new and improved Battle Mode, as well as just normal Ranked Mode. And I want to highlight those differences today. In this video, we'll be going over every single major secret change added to Battle Mode in this update, and why it isn't just a re-release of Ranked Mode. So, with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so one of the biggest new additions in this update was the introduction of a brand new offensive item, that being the boxing gloves. These are very powerful, as they grant players the ability to instantly damage other players with no room for error. Yes, you heard that right, you cannot lose with these things. It's not like a golden blaster where you can miss your shot, these things don't allow it. Let's dig into that. Basically, when you equip the boxing gloves, you can punch players in your vicinity, and when that is done, you'll not only take away a huge chunk of their health, but they'll also be knocked very far back. In fact, there's even a special achievement for knocking someone out of bounds with this new item. That's one of the new badges added in this update. Anyways, boxing gloves also have the ability to just never miss their target, as I had said earlier, unlike something such as the golden blaster where you can miss all the time. If you don't manage to punch anyone with them, you'll get to keep the items still, meaning you can keep them until they're eventually used to hit a player, which is quite powerful. It is worth mentioning though that once you do hit a player, they'll disappear, but there is a lot of room for error with this thing. Moving on though, the second and last new item added into Battle Mode isn't actually new, but it's new in the sense it wasn't actually in Ranked Mode, but it's here now in this new and improved Battle Mode, and that is the donut. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, donuts have gained quite the reputation for being extremely hard to find in the base game, but they are actually relatively common to find in Battle Mode. Don't worry, it doesn't actually give you a badge if you do obtain one in Battle Mode, so tough luck if you were trying to get the badge that way. Anyways, these items have the ability to heal players 80 health, meaning they're worth as much as 2 breads or 2 cheeses, or 1 bread and 1 cheese. I don't know if you know this, but bread and cheese are basically just reskins of each other. So these things are quite effective at healing damaged players. However, we didn't just get new items spawning in Battle Mode, but 2 items were actually removed from the game mode, those being the Spotlight and Moonlight Candle. Both of these items were once obtainable in Ranked Mode, but in Battle Mode they are nowhere to be seen. This is likely due to how the items didn't really serve too much of a gameplay purpose, as players aren't really too focused on navigating through dark rooms in Battle Mode. But removing these items actually has a hidden purpose you may not realize upon first glance. Since these useless light sources have been removed, it means they won't be able to clog up your inventory anymore, so you can now just focus on having actually helpful offensive and maybe defensive items. This may not seem too big of a change, but later on in the game when you're bound to have lots of items on you, having a little better inventory management can be pretty useful. Now, moving away from item changes, let's discuss some of the new rooms that were added. And removed. Yeah, some were added and some were removed. Let's talk about that. For the new implementations, a few of the outdoors rooms were added to Battle Mode. From what I've seen, this only includes the narrow crevice room you see in the background gameplay, as well as a few other small ones with a fully tiled floor. This just spices up the room types you encounter throughout the Battle Mode, but what's interesting is that these rooms aren't the only new rooms from the outdoors update, as a bunch of recently added hotel rooms were implemented as well. In Battle Mode, you can now find all of the new hotel room variants added in the outdoors update, such as the staircase room and all the elevator decoration rooms with elevators in them. I'm not entirely sure how to word that, but these are just to also spice up the variety of Battle Mode in the rooms you encounter. There isn't really a gameplay thing here. However, I'd also like to mention how many of the new hotel subrooms added in the outdoors update can also be found in Battle Mode, including the rift rooms. Yeah, that's right. From what I've seen, the hotel rift rooms can spawn in this new Battle Mode. And what's crazy is that you can still pick up and use the items inside of them. Look, here's me holding the tip jar and flashlight from the Abandoned Gift Shop subroom. Now, I've only been able to find the Abandoned Gift Shop in mini electrical rift rooms, and I don't think any of the mines ones were implemented into Battle Mode. However, given how 2 hotel rift rooms appear, it's possible that the donut rift room does as well. But given its extreme rarity in the base game, I have yet to encounter it in Battle Mode. Still, it's possible this room hasn't been implemented into Battle Mode, so just keep an eye out for it if it is just really rare. Moving away from rooms though, let's talk about an entirely new feature added to battle mode which hasn't even been seen in ranked mode or the base game yet, and those are breakable doors. Some doors you now find, notable for their metal exterior with neon parts, won't actually just open by walking up to it like all the other doors. Instead, much like the great door seen in the mine sewer chase, you'll have to interact with these doors 3 times in order for you to break them open. Upon doing this, the door will split in half, and those split off halves can actually be used as throwable props. So once you open the door, you can get immediate ammunition to hit anyone behind you. I'd also like to mention that if you slide into one of these doors whilst going very fast, such as traveling on a downhill staircase, you can actually just immediately break through it, skipping the whole interaction process. Additionally, very rarely, these doors can spawn missing their bottom half, requiring you to slide under the top half rather than breaking the whole door. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record any footage of this special variation of the door, but it does exist, so be on the lookout for it. Lastly though, the final new change added to battle mode was the removal of all the locked hotel rooms as well as the old room 99. Essentially, when ranked mode was first released in April Fools, it was common for players to encounter a locked hotel room that would have to find a key in order to progress. Locked rooms as a whole weren't removed in this update, as backdoor locked rooms can still spawn in battle mode, but they were made quite rare as all the hotel variants were now removed from the game mode, including the reception room. Additionally, old room 99 before the Hotel Plus update, which could have been found in ranked mode albeit with updated assets, has now been removed from battle mode as well. Which I'm not entirely sure why, but yeah, I guess that's a thing. I'd also like to mention that it is entirely possible that rooms from the room subfloor have also been removed from the game mode, since I've yet to encounter a single one, but that's not entirely confirmed. However, given how the room subfloor is eventually going to get a complete visual overhaul, it's possible rooms from that subfloor were cut from battle mode in preparation for that. So, to summarize, battle mode got a bunch of new changes which differentiate it from ranked mode. In terms of completely new additions, we got the new boxing glove items, which are quite powerful, as well as breakable and throwable doors. Additionally, a ton of features from the outdoors update were imported into the game mode, such as the donut, some outdoors rooms, and all the new hotel rooms and sub-rooms, including the rift rooms. Some features were also removed from the original version of ranked mode, such as the moonlight candle and spotlight items, the hotel locked rooms, the old room 99 from before the Hotel Plus update, and maybe even all the rooms from the room subfloor. Sure, these aren't the biggest changes, but it does differentiate battle mode from ranked mode to make the experience still feel somewhat fresh. So, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you think of all of these changes, as well as if I missed any, cause I definitely think although I did get a bunch of them, I could be missing some. And thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.